Hey there folks, this is sort of a quick and dirty video, but when I saw the news, I felt like I had to put my 2 cents in. So it seems like a Bioshock movie might actually happen this time, because for those who don't know, there have actually been numerous attempts in the past to make a Bioshock film. There's a great video by Charlatan Wonder that documents the various attempts that have been made to get one off the ground, which I'll link down below. But for me, I'm just going to be reacting to this news that Netflix is adapting a Bioshock movie, and my initial reaction is optimistic and excited. It goes without saying at this point, but video game movies bear a really unusual curse. They're often wished for by fans, but nearly always mishandled by clumsy studios and filmmakers who seem to consistently play it nauseatingly safe. When it comes to adapting a video game to film, some people think that they don't work because video games are objectively more immersive and engaging than films often are. And while I think there's some merit to that idea, I also think that video game movies are almost always stripped of the source material's uniqueness and converted into throwaway action flicks with really unremarkable plots and sometimes enthusiastic actors who are left in the hands of directors who just don't know how to take risks. So with that in mind, and with the extremely limited information we have right now, I am really happy that this movie is going to be in the hands of Netflix. As a studio, Netflix is generally known to be pretty hands-off with their filmmakers. And this is excellent news because one of the more promising Bioshock film projects actually lost steam because the studio wouldn't let the director give it a hard R rating, and the two butted heads until the project was just dropped. This was before films like Deadpool, Logan, and Joker proved that a rated R film could actually perform really well at the box office, and that an R rating wasn't a guaranteed dampener on performance. So, that's really my first hope. I hope this movie is intense and mature and rated R. I hope I feel the entire moral implications of the city of Rapture. And frankly, if it isn't rated R, then to me that means that there aren't going to be high stakes. If the worst thing that can happen to you in Rapture is only rated PG-13, then I'm not going to be very afraid of that Rapture. So while having that R rating is going to be really important, I don't think it's going to single-handedly solve a lot of the problems that most video game movies run into. I think in general, they lack risk-taking in other areas than simply the R rating. And to address what I mean by that, I'd like to point out a tragically overlooked film in my opinion. It's called Hardcore Henry. It's a one-off action movie that's shot entirely in the first person, with almost all the cuts cleverly interwoven to make it feel like a totally continuous experience. Now, this movie isn't Shakespeare. It doesn't have a plot that rivals that of Bioshock, but it's a brilliant proof of concept for immersing the audience in a way they're just not typically during a feature film. The story of Hardcore Henry feels deeply personal because it plays with perspective. Everything that's happening is happening to the camera, at the camera, rather than around it. I'm not saying the Bioshock movie needs to be shot in the first person exactly in this way, but I do think in order to succeed, it needs to take a risk in this way. It needs to mess with perspective, and it needs to do so to keep the audience personally invested. And that's why I'm really happy that Netflix are the ones behind this project, because I think that Netflix is uniquely suited to do this. Alright, are you ready for my hot take? Netflix, if you want the Bioshock movie to work, give it a branching story. Do one of your choose-your-own-adventure films. Give it choices. I don't care what it takes. I don't care how hard it is. Make it like Bandersnatch. Bioshock is a game about choice. It's a game about freedom. It doesn't work as a linear dystopian narrative. There are plenty of films and novels that have exercised that genre, and you won't be able to reinvent that wheel. A man chooses, a slave obeys. Make the world choose something. Choose to harvest or rescue a little sister. Give us something to consider, because we will get lost in the act of considering. Show people the power of choice, because if you don't, then this Bioshock movie will more than likely be another forgettable imitation of what was a revolutionary, life-changing game. I don't care if it's about Jack, Delta, or if it's a completely original story set in Rapture. I just deeply want this movie to involve decisions. Netflix, you've already done projects like this. Your platform is set up for it. There's no extra work that needs to be done. Just commit. Just be brave. Get a good director, and they will have a field day with this. All right, but I need to be a realist. There's a chance that because it's the best-selling game, they'll adapt Infinite first, with all of its plot holes. I mean, Booker isn't a silent protagonist. We know what he looks like. It's much easier to write a movie that's just a camera pointed at Booker going through his thing with Elizabeth. And if you open with that, if you open with Columbia, I think that'll be a mess. But it's a big studio. They're going to look at numbers. I wouldn't put it past them to try this first. So mark my words, I hope I'm wrong, but we might be getting a Columbia Bioshock film. Oh, that would break my heart. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in for this quick little video. The drawing isn't really anything to write home about, in my opinion. I just hadn't drawn for a while, and I had some different mediums I wanted to play with, so I decided to take them out for a spin because I made this video in like 6 hours. But if you want to talk more about this, if you want to talk more about it with me or find some like-minded folks, I do have a Discord server set up. I will link it down in the description below, and you can also find it on my channel banner. If you go to my channel, look at the banner. It's going to be on the right-hand side if you're on the computer. Otherwise, you can go to the About page and scroll down and look at links, but you shouldn't have to do any of that because I'm going to put it in the description, and I might even try to do an in-video link this time. Let's see. Let's see if I can be a big boy YouTuber. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'm currently in the throes of a much bigger, more involved video, so please stay tuned for that because I'm very excited about it and it will get done. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good one.